Surviving the season, we're back, season 3, episode 9, live from the Baywater Studios in Tampa, Florida. I'm your host, Adam Hara. Greg is here.
Yo, what's going on?
Hard Knocks breakdown from episode 3 last night.
Just breaking news here. Herb, we're doing this late at night. Urban Meyer's getting a 3-game suspension. Do you have a comment on that at all?
Does it affect the Browns?
Yeah, I guess he won't be getting fired and then coaching for the Browns next year. In that case, yeah.
I'm not sure what he's suspended for. I see it on Twitter. I don't know what's happening. I don't want to read the stories. I got enough shit to keep track of.
Fair enough. All right, Herb will be coming back to OSU. He will not be your Cleveland Browns 2019 head coach after Hugh gets fired. That's official.
Are we sure Hugh's getting fired? Is this where you're
Hugh,
taking this?
Herb or Hugh? Or Hugh definitely. Herb, no. I mean, there's the chance Hugh makes it through. There's a chance the team is looking like they have a fighting chance.
What does Hugh have to do to keep a job here?
Make his team look ready every single week. Don't make smart in-game decisions. Don't blow anything with any just mind-numbing moves.
Yeah.
Going for it or not going for it on an easy 4th and inches or kicking a field goal when you don't have time, you have to score a touchdown or something like that. I don't know if there's a win total that has to be hit.
Yeah, I would almost assume it would be.
I think if they hit, I was going to say, if they get like 8 wins, he's probably keeping his job.
I kind of think it'll be all like internal, like, oh, Hugh's not getting along with Haley, or Hugh's not getting along with Greg, or the owner's pissed about something and Hugh's giving him flack, like this reporter. Or Hugh's doing shit in the media to piss off Pontius Pilate, Flying J. Something like that, I think, would get Hugh fired more than, like, say, 6 wins.
I just think it's like overall, okay, how's the team responding? And what more do it's going to be, does John Dorsey think that another coach is going to get more out of the players? That's what it's going to come down to. It's hard for it. I think the one thing that we see with Hard Knocks is that there's a lot of things that you just don't know on the outside. That with just personalities. Personality, I think, it's just so important to a team of having the right mix of guys. And you don't know that. We don't get to see that, We don't get to see how that works, like when we're talking about players in the draft and stuff. We're going purely off of the stuff that they're putting on tape. How do they play on the field? And I think the same thing goes for Hugh. We're going with, what does Hugh give you on the field? Like, what is he doing? Game decisions. What is he doing? Is he starting the right players? Does he have good schemes? That kind of thing when he was the offensive coordinator. And we don't get to see how he is with the team. We don't get to see how he motivates the team. And that's, with Hard Knocks, that's definitely opening up a lot of eyes to what kind of coach Hugh is. And I think the overall take just from everybody is that Hugh is maybe not the hardest coach. He's kind of soft, right? I think it's fair to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to think, I mean, we just don't know, because we're not in the rest of these other 31 teams. How often does a not a hard coach or maybe a soft coach win a Super Bowl?
What they would probably call a player's coach, right? Somebody that gets along with everybody. I want to be everyone's friend.
Okay. Is that like a backhanded comment for somebody that's a soft coach? You call them soft, or you just say player's coach?
Yeah, I think so. Just the fucking model that everyone's going to send out there is Belichick. So Belichick is obviously like this, stoic dude. He just sort of stands over there. He doesn't get excited. He doesn't really care about anything. He just, we scored again. All right, I'll hold up a 1. Like he's just he's just a rock. So I guess if you're comparing every other coach to him, it's sort of a different look. But Hugh definitely seems like a player's coach.
Be a hard ass. Can you be a hard ass and be a player's coach at the same time? Isn't that sort of like what Mike Tomlin is?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess when Pittsburgh's on Hard Knocks next year after their 0-16 run this year, we'll find out.
They got a better chance to go 16-0 than 0-16.
I don't know. Yeah, Tomlin does seem like he does seem to have the balance. Maybe that's why they're still successful.
Yeah. Well, I also think they have good players. That helps. I mean, so much of this, there's only so much a coach can do, right? Then there's only so much the players can do. If the players aren't put in good position, then they're not going to succeed. If you have coaches that put the guys, you use your players correctly, you're going to get the best out of them. You don't have to have the most talented roster to win games, and you also don't have to have the best coach in the league to win games. It's a balance, and you almost, a lot of times you read about this stuff, especially on Twitter, and it's like either one or the other.
Right. No, there's something in the middle that's probably more accurate.
Absolutely, it is. 100%. It's in the middle. Like there needs to be a balance, and that, I mean, I don't know what Hugh. I guess we'll see going forward because I know Hugh didn't have players last year. The team wasn't up to par. At the same time, the coaching was bad, especially on the offensive side of the ball, where he just didn't get the most out of his players. But he's not the offensive coordinator anymore. So we brought that up a million times. Todd Haley looks like a competent coach there, by all means. He looks like the most competent coach in the entire coaching room at this point. So I think they're going to get a lot more out of the offense, and it's going to make Hugh look better. And then in the long run, it could be good for Hugh if he's still here. Now, is he the overall best coach to take you to the Super Bowl? That's left to be seen. And I would just say from where we're at right now, probably not. But let me ask you this: now that Hugh gets to see himself on Hard Knocks, is that a good thing? Is that where the coach almost gets to go back, watch himself on tape? I'm going to review the tape. I'm going to realize I'm bad at coaching here, and I'm going to work on those coaching points, and I'm going to become a better coach. Is that possible? I think he's already started it. I'm telling you, I think he's already started it. He's already calling people out.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, he does seem to. He got a little aggressive in episode 2.
Slightly,
bringing up the tape and all that shit.
Episode 3, he started really coming out firing, man. I don't know. I think he sees himself. He went back, reviewed the tape. Better.
Did just an overall look at episode 3?
Yes.
It feels to me like everybody got used to the cameras being around, and it seems so much more fucking contrived than episode 1.
Right. You think so, huh?
Yeah, I do. I think everyone's like, oh, okay, Hard Knocks is here, and we're on TV each week, and let's do stuff that, I don't know. It's starting to be a little annoying.
Carl Nat, what? Annoying. I mean, I love this. The episode got over, and I'm like, God, I wish the Browns were on this every single year.
The best part is the preseason game.
If you're a Browns fan, though, this is like a dream.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as they close with the preseason action and then you get to hear some of the comments and what they're talking about, yeah, that's great. But
I don't know, man. The Amazon one, though, so the Amazon doesn't come out till long after the season's over. I almost wish they did that one. I can't remember what that one's called. God, do you remember? You know the name of that one? But they do the same thing, but they do in season. They follow a team for the whole year. They did the Cowboys last year. They did the Arizona Cardinals the year before. They've done college teams before. They perform, but it doesn't come out till long after. So there's not the critique it's not the same with the Hard Knocks. The Hard Knocks is week to week, and it's highly, criticized from. Mike Lombardi's just out there ripping the Browns, just ripping constantly on Hugh.
Let me tell you what Al Davis would have done in this situation. Let me tell you what Bill Belichick or Bill Parcells would have done in this situation. The fuck
How many
here.
coaches are like Bill Parcells in the NFL right now? Let's be honest. How many are left that are really in the same mold of Bill Parcells? Do you remember when he called Terry Glenn she, and he kept saying, "Well, she's going to be out for a while with her injury, and she needs to get back on the field." If you even said that today, if you went into a press conference and called a player a she, there would be a whole Twitter mob out for you.
Yeah.
For calling a man a she, and then, am I wrong here?
No,
it would be
right.
so politically incorrect. People would be pissed. Oh, just because he's hurt, he's a girl? Oh my God, I can't believe you'd say such a thing. Bill Parcells, he wouldn't be long. He wouldn't be long for this era that we're in right now.
No, I don't think so. Right.
No, I don't think there is. I mean, Belichick's really not even. Belichick's pretty mild. Like, he doesn't say anything in the press, to be honest. So he doesn't go out of his way to like insult people.
No, he's almost annoyingly deceptive.
Right, but yeah, I mean, you should love that because you hate the fact that Hugh talks at all. So
no, I do.
That
love
should
it,
be, yeah, that should be right up your alley. Well, so let's get into the show a little bit. What do you say?
Yeah, I want to know because right off the top of the episode was some dude that I've never even heard of, Mr. Brad Paisley. Who brought in this guy to talk to the team? I would fire that guy right away.
You didn't like that speech that Brad Paisley gave? So you start off with the Jarvis Landry fight. He's fighting Terrence Mitchell, right? And
then they got
into
into it late, right? They covered it a little bit later in the episode, but
yeah, and you got and then Brad Paisley's over there talking about Mayfield and whatnot, and then practice gets over. They called Brad Paisley in for pep talk, and it was weak as fuck.
Really looking forward to you guys winning some games this year. I'm a huge Cleveland fan. Good luck out there. And
you're insulting every Brad Paisley fan that listens to the show.
I don't think there are Brad Paisley fans that listen to the show. I'm not sure there's Brad Paisley fans anywhere.
Baker Mayfield and Jarvis Landry both said they were Brad Paisley fans. How dare you insult people like that?
I like when our starting left tackle goes up to Brad Paisley and Brad Paisley goes, "What's your name?" Oh yeah, super fan Brad Paisley, Cleveland, native super fan. Fucking get out of here. What's your name? What's your name? You want me to sign something for you, buddy? I'm gonna go check out the RV, friends.
Yeah, that was weak. Brad Paisley he's definitely not getting you pumped up to do anything. But he asked John Dorsey. He's like, "What do you think?" He's like, "Favre." And he's like, "Oh, he's got to earn the respect to be called Brett Favre. He's got a great release, stronger arm than what you think." What Dorsey was saying about him. So you can tell Dorsey really, really likes Mayfield quite. I mean, he picked him number 1 overall, but he's just super.
Brett Favre was the only quarterback that Brad Paisley's ever heard of.
You're just going in on Brad Paisley here. You're very angry about Brad Paisley.
I'm going to pick up an album just to see what he does. Yeah. I guess, Dorsey said, he's got to earn it, something like that, right?
Yep. So they had the whole Brad Paisley. He goes to the RV. He, hangs out with Baker for a little bit. And then we go to Brogan Robach and his girlfriend, and they're with the butterflies. These are the parts of Hard Knocks I can't stand, but I see other people. Oh, these are terrible.
I'm Brogan Robach's girlfriend, and he DM'd me on Instagram, and that thing is so weird. What is that? That tongue is so sticky.
Dude, he said, Brogan Robach said, "Oh yeah, these butterflies change colors, right?"
Babe, there's not much. There's no protein in that butterfly. It's just so cute. I don't even know what to say about it. I hope you get to play one series this weekend. I drove all the way up here from the whitest town in America.
What the fuck? Dude. Yeah, so that was pretty forgetful. I see it's your favorite. So you would go from Brad Paisley to fucking Brogan Roebuck's girlfriend. Not the way you want to start. It's a good thing. That's why they had to start off the show with a fight.
This nature reserve is sick. I love this place. This place is just, I'm stoked to be here.
Yeah. So, so then they go back to practice. I mean, you got anything to add about that? That's it.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty much jumped the shark on the whole thing already.
Yes. So, there's the whole Tyrod thing. Do you want to get into that at all?
Nope.
I do not. Okay, thank you. We'll pass. And then you get to on the field, stuff that I want to talk about. Todd Haley, Carl Nassib. So Todd Haley is yelling at Carl Nassib, don't bowl him back into the quarterback, right? Remember this part?
Mm-hmm.
And Carl Nassib goes, I stopped, bro. I stopped, bro. And Haley goes, don't bro me, please. Oh, dude, I was laughing. That cracked me up, dude.
Yeah.
And then Carl's now mad at, and you're right, here he is playing up to the cameras now because he knows Todd was making fun of his name being Carl last episode when he was saying, oh, how would you name your baby Carl, right? Oh, look how cute Carl is, little Carl. And now he's saying Todd or whatever. Yeah, he's playing it up. But did you see Nassib absolutely crush that Sulaco dude? Who's going to be for sure.
That's right, yeah.
Just absolutely annihilated him, which is great. So he's going to be out of there, I'm sure. And then, so what happens then right after that? Garrett runs into Tyrod, and that got Haley. Good teams don't touch the quarterback. Good teams don't do it. And Williams is yelling, block him then. This should be on a shirt for Williams, right? You had the bless him shirt. Williams should be block him then. Block him. Block him then. Somebody's got to block him. That's what he's yelling. Miles is unblockable. It's not fair. It's not fair. If you have to block Miles every single time out, you're either getting really good or you're just going to absolutely hate yourself. You're going to quit football. It goes two ways. That's it.
That's an impossible task.
It is an impossible task.
Would you, where were you on Nassib talking shit, by the way?
Who, to the coach?
Yeah. It seems almost unacceptable to me.
Well, if it was Bill Parcells, back when I was with the Raiders and Al would never accept that. No,
Al Davis would have came out of the press box and fired him on the spot.
I'm sure this stuff happens all the time. These guys are grown men. This is not like high school ball. You know, you can't yell at your coach in high school. But especially when it's offense defense. I bet you the defensive guys are always yelling at the offensive guys. The offensive guys are always yelling at the defense. You know, it's competition, so you can be a little bit more free with everybody being grown-ups at this point.
Well, after that Nassib, speaking of offense defense, after that Nassib segment, that was when they went into the fight, the Landry-Mitchell fight. They were duking it out, you know, having words. Mitchell sort of got beat on a 4-yard in or whatever. We'll see a lot of those from Landry, and knocked him down.
Are you just ripping on our team today and Brad Paisley? Is this hate for Landry, Brad Paisley, Landry, Brogan Roebuck's
just
girlfriend?
Trying to make sick arguments, dude.
Okay, just a lot of hate coming from your side of the pod today.
This is what we do. This is what happens if we do it at 10 o'clock. So this might be one of our best.
So yeah. So the problem I have with that is you have a chance to get hurt. Like, don't be sticking your hand up in the people's face masks and don't be throwing punches to helmets. What are we doing here? And Kirksey came up and was talking to Landry about being smart, and then he's 100% right there. Meanwhile, Hughes over there just doing Lamaze with him, breathing practices. Oh, we're gonna come over here. Let me help you. Okay, good. Now let's get back out there. Look, I'm not going to sit there because I do want my players feisty, right? I do want my players on edge. I want my players ready to throw down. But at the same time, I don't want you punching people in the helmet, and I don't want you grabbing face masks and trying to rip off helmets because you're going to break your fingers. So you got to be smart.
Yeah, someone's going to get hurt.
Takedown or two. Double leg takedown, and come on. Rear naked, do something, get in there, grab an arm, go for a choke, or try to lock up a leg, knee bar, something like that.
Yeah, Mitchell's sort of under the radar. Is he starting opposite Ward now? I mean, he's getting a lot of play now here in the in Hard Knocks, and looks like he's getting a lot of play in the preseason.
That's already been locked up. In my opinion.
Nice.
That's 2 games. He hasn't done anything to lose the job at this point. So I would
out
say
there and talk some smack. Fuck it.
Yeah. And then they go to Demarius Randall, and he says, a lot of testosterone today.
Yeah. They were like, what?
Testosterone. Whatever the fuck it is. Whatever it is, I'm ready to go today. I fucking like it. Testosterone. That's what he said. A lot of testosterone. Testosterone? Yeah, whatever the fuck it is. Oh,
yeah,
man.
He had it. He was close.
Testosterone.
It's been a long 4 years getting banged around in the head.
Yes. So then came my favorite part of the whole show, Alonzo Highsmith.
Thought it was a great little, too short of a segment. I wish they would have shown the whole thing.
We need more Alonzo Highsmith.
Yeah.
We need a show of just Alonzo Highsmith, in my opinion.
would watch 1 hour of Alonzo Highsmith yelling at John Dorsey before I watched
he was not
Hard Knocks.
I don't believe.
No, he was just fired up. That was nice to see.
Yeah, he was fired up. He said he was saying a bunch of junkyard dogs out there. Mm-hmm. And he said this, and I mean, I don't want to say anything, but going back 2 years, we were talking about this being a cowboy style rebuild where you tear the whole damn thing down all the way to the studs, and you're going to build it up. You're going to build it back up. And he said this had a lot of similarities to the 1-15 Cowboys. A lot. Same energy. And he said same little issues, but he thinks these are the players that are overcome, just like those ones on the Cowboys. So he sees the energy, and he's loving it. And I love me some Alonzo Highsmith right there. We got to try to get this guy on the pod because he got me pumped. He got me pumped up. We need more Alonzo Highsmith.
The year that they drafted Aikman 1 overall, did they start him?
Yes, they did.
Yep.
Well, they drafted, so they came back in the supplemental and used their next year #1 overall pick for Steve Berline or whoever the hell. Right? That's who it was, right?
Yeah,
or Steve Walsh. What the hell? Who the hell was that other quarterback? Not Berline. It was Walsh or something. And so then they battled it out. Aikman won the job. Aikman rode off into the sunset. Right to the Hall of Fame. So you're saying Troy Aikman, Baker Mayfield.
I was making a roundabout that. Go ahead and start the kid. I'm on board with the Baker Mayfield train, and I'm not getting off. I don't care.
What if Baker throws 3 picks this week?
Don't care. He's ready to go.
Well, that's not right.
I would reevaluate.
So
no, that's why we play preseason games to evaluate. So if he goes out and plays like shit, fuck it. Yeah, we'll go with Tyrod. No problem.
Here's the thing. So here's my only problem with the evaluation process I'm seeing happening by fans on Twitter. The evaluation process has now become not just the games where you're only talking about like 20 snaps a game for a lot of these guys, right? Mm-hmm. Where a fans now that's how their whole evaluation process goes. Nobody goes out to these practices; they don't see them every day, and then we're going to evaluate them on 20 snaps 4 times in the preseason games.
Good point.
now not only have you have that, but now you're evaluating on the performance they gave on Hard Knocks. So this is all so, throw in 20 snaps and your Hard Knock performance, and Devin Kajust is finding himself to be like the number one tight end on this team somehow.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, it gets a little bit distorted. Let's talk about that because somebody mentioned, should Baker get first team reps in practice? And then Hugh said, we're installing a new offense. Tyrod needs all the reps and blah, 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 blah. I'm not arguing for Baker to get first team reps or whatever. I'm arguing that Baker's the better quarterback. I don't care if they send Baker out there for first team reps. And the arguments that I see on Twitter don't really matter. In the end, we all know who's starting for this team. So it's whether you want to start him in week 3, 6, 9, next year, or whatever. Mayfield's your quarterback here in Cleveland. So
let's just say that, okay, you have Tom Brady's your starter. You telling me that they don't bring the backup quarterback in with the first team?
Yeah, I would imagine they probably do.
Yeah,
in,
right. Because
England.
Now you're having Baker. Let's just say Tyrod goes down. How many reps has Baker Mayfield got with Jarvis Landry?
I don't know, 0.
Right, almost none. Right, I mean, in what's that? Yeah, I'm being serious. Like, he's just not getting reps with Jarvis Landry. He's not getting reps with anybody in the first team. He's getting all his reps with second team guys, and now I just don't see. I'm not saying that you have to do it a lot, but why wouldn't you just take like a little bit, even only one practice a week where you're taking a couple series for Baker to go with the ones for, okay, well, Higgins hop in there. I'm sure they do it at all the positions. Let's hop in there and just in case somebody gets hurt, this is what it's going to be like. I mean, you have guys sitting out with veteran days off, so the second team guys are getting in those. I just think
Hugh is so goddamn nervous that he doesn't want to bring in Baker with the first team because then people will be like, oh, is he starting now? He doesn't want to answer the questions.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like, don't you want Baker to be as familiar with all the players as possible? And so maybe, I don't know, maybe that's not the norm, but I feel like in the past that's the way they did it with the Browns as well. Like, you just, of course, your second string guy is going to get some reps with the first team. But
it would make sense. They're real careful about this first string, second string, third string bullshit. I don't know why it's so difficult. All right, we're going to start Tyrod. Everyone's like, oh, you got to be patient. You got to be patient. All right, yeah, I'm patient. We're 1-31. I'm cool.
Well, I'm saying the same thing too. It's not like I want to rush a quarterback. We preached all last year that they're stupid to start Kaiser. He's not ready. He's obviously not ready. Well, the other guys weren't good, so now we got to start Kaiser. But that was a completely different situation with completely different quarterback. Yeah. He wasn't anywhere near where Baker is. I agree. Baker, like, last year was the year you needed Tyrod. This year is the year where the quarterback's actually ready to play. And it's just backwards. It's fine. I'm fine that Tyrod, I think, Tyrod is still Tyrod really hadn't played that much, to be honest, in the preseason to really get a honest feel for it. But in practice, Tyrod's gone out and he hasn't been doing anything to lose a job. Yeah. So if Tyrod was just playing horribly in practice, then that would be one thing. But Tyrod seems to be going out every single practice and being consistent, doing the things he needs to do. And Baker hasn't been able to, the way I look at it, Tyrod's sort of like the champion, and you got to go take the job from him.
Yeah.
You can't just, you have to knock the guy out here. You can't just beat him on points.
That's fair. I'm comfortable with it, and I'm also patient. I just think it's like, if you even mention that Baker should even be part of the conversation, people are like, this is not part of the plan. You got to be patient.
Yeah, I know.
I'm patient. Just look what you're going to get. I think we're going to see it early, and I don't know. I'm not sure what those people are going to say after 1 or 2 or 3 losses. They're going to be panic mode or patient.
Right. Yeah, that's a good question. How many losses will it take before those same people are talking about Baker getting in there?
Yeah, when do they lose their patience? So the whole thing's going to be interesting once we get into some real games and see actually what we got.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's get back to the episode there.
Yep. So then we went to Moose, the office dog, who walked around to some Cat Stevens. And,
that's right.
And that was a good. I don't know. I mean, who takes his dog out? Is anybody in control of the dog during the day? Does the dog just crap on the floor? What's
that
happening?
Dog looks like he has complete control of the office. He probably goes out on his own time. He goes out when he feels like it.
Yeah,
he was just chilling.
So,
he was just laying down under desks.
Yes,
cruising through Hughes' office. Yeah,
John Dorsey seems like a very, very likable guy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's just not good at press conferences.
Yeah,
he's seems like a very lovable. He seems like he would be like the awesomest uncle to hang out with, right? Like you just bullshit, talk football with all the time. You just don't want him doing your press conferences. Just keep him away from press conferences. He makes me nervous every time he's out there. But no, he was. Moose came up and hung out with him a little bit, and then is that when Dorsey had the little meeting with his staff, and they talking? I think that came a little bit later, because then we got into Bob Wiley, offensive coach Bob Wiley.
Well, Bob Wiley is now like a superstar on Twitter, by the way.
Yeah,
he is taking the social media by storm with with his witty banter and his stomach.
Dude, how about the stomach? Every time he said "ready, hit," his stomach, dude, it's a strong core. Underneath that flab is a super strong core. Did you see the way that every time he said "ready, set, hit"? Did you notice that?
I did notice. Yeah, it was hilarious. Yeah.
It's amazing.
The whole thing moves.
It's kind of scary, to be honest. And then he's talking about stretching being overrated.
Yeah. I mean, World War I soldiers didn't stretch when they, or World War II soldiers didn't stretch when they attacked the beaches of Normandy. You guys don't have to stretch.
Funny. Yeah, but meanwhile, let's not be taking any type of workout or physical anything advice from this guy. Let's be honest.
Good point.
Let's talk diet with Bob Wiley. Let's not talk about working out with him. Calisthenics, stretching, yoga. It doesn't matter. It doesn't seem like he has a high knowledge here. Let's be honest. And the weird thing is,
nice car
that he's driving. He's driving around the white Maserati, right? So he wants to be he wants to show off, sort of. But then he wears that brown shirt that's about quadruple or to the 10th power X. I don't know. Like, what is that? What size is that shirt? With the white socks and the white grandpa shoes. So this guy wants to be show off the bling with the car, but then walks around looking like that. It doesn't make sense to me.
Just drive around. Would you be surprised at all if there was just a bunch of chicken gravy all over that sweatshirt? You know, chicken grease down the sleeves.
That's why it's brown, so you can it just blends right in there.
Yeah, none of that would surprise me. Of just
the other thing, though,
all over his car. There's French fries in between the seats.
If you go back to World War II, have you ever seen a video of any like superior athlete looking dudes that look anything like these dudes in the NFL? Nobody looked like that for a reason, and it goes beyond just stretching. But it was pretty funny. He said some funny stuff. But Are
you talking about like in the like when the entire diet was just pork? That was it.
Yeah, right.
What are we having? Pork. What? There's no other meat. It's
Salted meat.
1940, fucker.
Yum. Everything's salted. Delicious. What do we have? We have these dried biscuits. It look like probably what dog snacks look like. All right. So so then we go Greg Williams meeting, and he's just every Greg Williams meeting is him yelling about people jogging or people
real pissed about effort.
Yes. He hates effort, or he hates lack of effort. And then we go to Nate Orchard. So another stop. You gotta get in your family story or whatever tearjerker type thing. That's so your wife will watch it with you. So the Nate Orchard thing. What do you think of that? That was. Did you like that part with the fam?
Yeah. I mean, it was fine.
Yeah.
Nate Orchard seems like a pretty cool dude. Seems like a good guy. He's got a family.
Yep. Yeah, he seems like a really good dude, and
probably didn't find his wife on Instagram.
Probably didn't slide into those DMs. I imagine not. Yes.
Nate's gonna be so pissed when he gets home tonight, and he realizes on the tape that he didn't hold contain one time.
Did you hear that one? She said, "Do it for the children," which is actually pretty funny. That's like Joe Schobert's wife or a girlfriend or something.
Yeah, she didn't know what to say, so she was like awkwardly like, hashtag do it for the children.
That was actually kind of funny. Yeah, so his wife's making the cookies, and then they go in. Now, is Cajuice giving those cookies? Are those different cookies?
I'm not sure who made those cookies, but Seth DeValve was not happy about cookies in the locker room.
And that's what I was going to say. That's so fucking me. And I'm not even close to as fit as Seth DeValve, but that's exactly the way I am when people come around with cookies. Like, Seth DeValve is so on top of his diet. He wanted no part of any cookies. He was like, and they were even giving him shit for it. Oh, he'll hate himself for a week if he eats one of those cookies.
He should probably fix his ankles or whatever he's out with. Is Seth DeValve in trouble of not making this team?
No, come on. That's ridiculous. Once again, this is people scouting on 2 games in the preseason and scouting on Hard Knocks.
I'm just saying he hasn't played or practiced or nothing.
Yeah. So what? Why would Seth DeValve is the least of our worries? I mean, this is a guy that can produce. He's made for today's game in the NFL. He's a perfect guy to be your second, third tight end that goes and catches balls. He can do. He's like the Trey Burton type. This is the perfect style of tight end right now to have as your backup. So 100%.
Our tight ends are Fells, Njoku, and DeValve, right?
Yeah, and he's got more size than Cajuice. I know people are thinking Cajuice has a chance. Cajuice has a chance to make the team, but it's not over Seth DeValve. Cajuice is barely a tight end. He's more of a hybrid tight end than what DeValve even is. He has no size at all compared to. He could. I'd like to even look at it. In my opinion, just by what he looks like, it looks like he doesn't have the same kind of girth of what DeValve has. But I don't know what his measurables are overall. Do you know? Do you have those? I bet you Cajuice is only in the 230s. Yeah,
he's a hybrid wide receiver, right?
Yeah, he's basically like, and DeValve can do just so much more. I mean, that's exactly what Cajuice is. He's like a big wide receiver. He's got to still do a lot of work in the weight room before he's able to become like any type of inline tight end or whatever. And that's not what Seth DeValve is either. But
I like DeValve. It's just he's not playing, so I don't know if it's.
But guys are hurt. Guys are hurt all the time. This is freaking NFL. So you're just gonna throw guys away.
I don't know.
That seems to be a talking point that a lot of people go to. In my opinion, it's not even up for debate. Of course, Seth DeValve's on this team.
Okay.
What has he done not to be on the team? I mean, he's played fine over the last 2 years, and he's young. He doesn't get paid shit, and he's the exact type of tight end that you need to be a backup third string tight end. To come in and play those sub packages when he's a mismatch opportunity. You get him against any linebacker in the league, and he's going to win every single time. That's exactly the kind of guys you want.
I got Kajus at listed. This is the listed roster. 6'4", 242. DeValve 6'3", 245. So take that for what you will.
Yeah.
Kajus
doesn't look that big to me, but I mean, that could be right. He doesn't look that big to me. He doesn't look as thick as what DeValve is, but
DeValve's much more athletic anyway, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I would imagine he would be. I don't know what Kajus did or anything at the combine or anything like that either, to be honest. So then after that, we get the old Des Bryant visit, right? He comes in with his spiritual gangster shirt on, which is awesome. He goes by, he stops with Nathan Zagura, so he's on Cleveland Browns Daily there, and then he sits down with Hugh, and I thought this is the greatest line. I don't know, I probably won't be going for any interviews. I have a job that I'll probably have for the rest of my life, but if I ever do, if I go and they say, what's your long-term, like, what are you looking for, Greg? And I'm going to say, just realness, that's all.
It's very important to go to a job interview in a sleeveless shirt with headphones around your neck. Very, very stylish.
Just looking for realness, you know? I want to give, I just want to give it my all. I want to come in here. I want to be real. I want you to be real. This is all new to me because I never met real people. And you seem like a real guy. And everything seems, he said, I don't even know you, Hugh. And I feel totally comfortable. And the look on Hugh's face is one of the most uncomfortable human in the history of humans at the moment. I'm telling you, go back and watch it. When he says that, look at Hugh's face. He's sitting back. His eyes are as wide as can be. He looks scared. He doesn't know what's going to happen.
Hilarious.
He's shocked. He couldn't look any more uncomfortable. But yeah, I'm going with that. What are you looking for? Realness. That's all.
That's it.
Just want realness.
Speaking of Hugh, Hugh's reactions after that Des segment, Gordon landed at the airport. Did you see that one with his disguise on?
The bird has landed. The bird, yes, Gordon with the disguise, and the bird has landed is what Hugh says at the game. They knew at the game last Friday night that Gordon was in,
and Hugh was fucking excited.
Dude, here's what it looks like to me, and this is the thing that worries me. Everything with this team they are relying so much on Josh Gordon. They are basing so much on Josh Gordon being a focal point of this offense and being here for the whole year. You can just see it in his eyes. He lights up. He's so excited to have Josh back. And then Haley, of course. Well, has he been working out? Is he in shape? Haley's very straight to the point. Very, he doesn't care about feelings, He wants to know, are you ready to play football? That's it. Hugh's over the top with this thing, though. You can tell.
Yeah, he was real pumped. It was almost a bad look.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there is so much. They have so much faith in Josh Gordon here, or so they're relying on him so much that it almost makes me nervous that you have this much. All I'm saying is we've been burned before. I don't want to be the Debbie Downer here, but Josh Gordon to me is just a bonus.
Yeah.
And I'll say it again. I'm not relying on this guy. Hugh's eyes tell me that Josh is everything to him. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I see when you show him training at the end, I'm like, good Lord, this guy he's a freak. That stride, the guy's unstoppable. The guy's so goddamn talented. It's unbelievable. It got me a little pumped up. I'm not going to lie, too.
Yeah. He's just fucking ripped. Looks like he's ready to go. He's been working out.
Dude, he could eat all those cookies. He could eat Nate Orchard's wife's cookies all day, every day, and he's still going to be ripped. His genetics are just better than everybody's, hands down. Like it doesn't matter what he eats. He's on no Seth DeVell diets, that's for sure. Then we get into the game, right? And Jarvis, the hit that Jarvis had, the one everybody's been talking about. Is that a cheap shot in your opinion?
No. I mean, maybe in the preseason, but there's nothing wrong with that in the season. So let's bang them out.
It's not a cheap shot.
No, I don't think so.
If I'm a defender, I'm pissed about it because there's so much nonsense that they are called for on a weekly basis with the guy was, what do they call it? When the guy's trying to catch the ball, defenseless receiver.
Yeah.
Okay, well, are you a defenseless defender at that point because you're running sideways? You're not watching, it used to be got to have your head on a swivel, right? And that meant offensive players, that meant defensive players, everybody. You got to watch out. You got to know what you're doing. You got to watch and be cognizant of guys that are around you. Well, and that's no longer the case for the offense. But now for the defense to take a shot like that, 100% that's a flag if the defender did that. So the defense should be pissed about it.
Yeah.
Because it's not fair. It's not fair for them. It's not a cheap shot. It shouldn't even be called in the first place the opposite way, but it is. So if they're going to call it one way, then you got to call it the other way. I don't want to see them call it anyway. I think we're fucking pussyfooting around too much with this game, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'm not even sure, what we want to see big blocks. We want to see big hits. What are we doing? Like, that's part of the game.
It used to be part of the game. It's no longer part of the game.
If the dude pops up, nobody says a word, but he was hurt, so then everybody's pissed about it. Yeah. So we're going to be, at some point, we're going to be into World Cup soccer where everybody just stays down so that everyone can be pissed.
Yeah, and they'll be bringing out they'll be putting everybody on a gurney.
Bringing out the World War II track ambulance with the gurney and everything.
Which got Jarvis on the sideline. So Jarvis over there saying he fears no one, telling Higgins that, and he likes to be the most wanted. So I like his confidence.
Yeah. I don't want anyone to like me.
Yep. Right. So then first half, really, there wasn't a lot going on. They go in for the halftime speech, and this got me laughing when they go, because Williams does this thing when he breaks it, and they say, ready, go, and they clap at the same time. You know that?
Get some, bitch.
And they all say, get some, bitch, at the same time. So they clap and say, get some, bitch. That's pretty funny. And then that's when Baker comes out the second half. He gets sacked. Haley's pissed. Got to pick up the blitz. Takes him down for a touchdown. But before they get in, Baker's saying, okay, so when the call he throws it to Willies for the touchdown. They call a touchdown. The play gets reversed. Baker tells Haley, hey, let's run
quarterback draw.
Call quarterback draw, right? So then he goes out there, Haley gives him the play, and he said, fuck him, he changed it, right? Isn't that what he said?
Yeah. Fucker changed it. Something like that.
No, that fucker, that's what he said. That fucker changed it.
That's funny.
Oh, shit. Which would never be a problem, because your coach wouldn't know you said that unless you're on Hard Knocks, that you just call him a fucker.
Still love it. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and then they score. Higgins again. Higgins is always talking. Higgins is like our best cheerleader. I think he might be. And Higgins says, "You just know how to win, bro."
Yeah.
That. So then we end up losing the game. The fumble should have been a fumble. That was obvious. Wasn't a fumble. They end up blowing the game. There was the late hit roughing the quarterback, which is not roughing the quarterback in real football. But now that we're playing this pussyfoot shit, well, if you hit a guy in the thighs, did you see where he hit him?
Yeah, it's pretty.
Hit him in the thigh. What is he supposed to do there? It's so stupid. Yeah, so he gets called for that, and then Haley says, "Hey, that's how we practice. That's what we deserve."
Oh, yeah, that was a good line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you get, I don't know, at some point you're getting pushed into the quarterback. You just reach out and grab him. It's your thighs, it's the hips, it's the shoulder.
It's nonsense, dude. It is ruining the fucking game.
It's impossible.
Guys are going a million miles per hour. Guys are getting... You act like he just came in as a free rusher. That's not what's happening. He's fighting a dude to get through the line, and the only way he has to get to the quarterback is to lunge at him. You're not going to tackle everybody perfectly 100% of the time. Sometimes it's going to look like an ugly tackle. This is tackle football. If you don't want that to happen, put fucking flags on the fucking guys, and nobody will watch the shit. That's where we've come with this game. They're just ruining it, man. Yeah, you got
it's roughing the quarterback. When you see it, you know what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not that difficult to figure out. Just the guy kind of like grabbing you by the pants and bringing you down is not roughing.
He hit him in the thighs.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's a low hit,
And even if it's low...
You can't even argue it anymore. It's so stupid.
Even if it's low, not all low hits should be called. Like, if you grab him by the ankles and then, twist, call that. But if you just sort of hit him low and then he falls down, you don't have to call that.
Yeah, but what if the only way you can tackle him is to grab him you have him by the ankle and you have to twist to roll to try to tackle him? I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's not every single one is a bang bang call. Yeah. Every single one. You have to make a split second decision on something that it can go either way. It's like calling a charge or something in basketball. Too hard,
yeah. It's much too difficult to do.
And then, okay, a charge or a block in basketball. Okay, well, you get 2 free throws. Okay, well, you score 110 points or something a game, each team, or 100 points a game. All right, you might get 2 free throws, or it might go the other way, a turnover. It's not really that big of a deal. But when you're giving free first downs and 15 yards, I mean, look what happened with the Josh Allen when they get the hands of the face on Jannard Avery. It was 3rd down at 18. Josh Allen gets another set of downs and then takes them down, and they score a touchdown on that one.
Yeah,
they should have been off the field.
Right.
So if you turn that, and that was a good penalty. He did get his hands to the face. But what I'm saying is, if it's a ridiculous call like that, where you're just touching the quarterback, it ruins the integrity of the game. This is constantly happening in the NFL.
What did Greg Williams say? We got a penalty on 3rd and 100.
Yeah.
It was 3rd and 18 or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then after the game, Hugh recognized that he needed to look good for the cameras. He goes off complaining about the penalties. That was just a joke. He didn't really do it for the cameras, I don't think. He was complaining about, shooting themselves in the foot, basically, which is true. The Browns, you don't want to lose this game yourself, and the Browns had a big hand in losing that game. By themselves, causing their own problems.
Yeah.
And then you get back to some more Josh Gordon training at the Browns facility, which is, we're all ready for. So we're ready for week 3. The game is tomorrow night, and then Josh Gordon next week on Hard Knocks, I expect to be featured probably for the full hour, just all Josh Gordon.
Yeah, I know, right? That was sort of the preview, too.
Yeah. So, overall, it was an all right episode. Wasn't as good as 2, I don't think. Episode 2 is the best one so far.
Yeah. All right. We want to wrap it up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. And then we got the game tomorrow night, so come back after that. Yep. and get another show.
I could probably drop this unedited without an intro or anything, and we can get it out tonight.
Okay, do what you gotta do.
Yeah, all right.
You do whatever you like.
Fuck it, we'll drop it tonight. If anybody has complaints about the editing, hashtag blame Greg.
All right, fair enough.
Twitter's at STS Podcasts. Email is survivingtheseason@gmail.com. Patreon, you can support us there. Patreon.com/STS Podcasts. Anything else?
No.
Hashtag Road to Redemption.
Yes.
We're on the way.
We are there. We're going. We are on the road.
Tell them what we say.
Keep on surviving.